first time that I have come here, and also the first time I have met people who do things for me for free. This will allow me to do everything that kids of my age do. Before, when I went to the football field, I could only watch. It was not interesting. Even when football was debated and I wanted to talk, they told me that if I did not play sports, I had nothing to say about them. Now, I will be able to play with them and to debate as well.
Donc, maintenant, ça va me permettre de pouvoir jouer avec eux, apprendre aussi.
Fundación Recover began almost 12 years ago, and the Patients program has existed since its beginning. The program works to bring patients to Spain from the countries in Africa that we are working with and who cannot be treated in their place of origin.
Y que en su lugar de origen no pueden ser tratados o atendidos, pero aquí sí pueden ser tratados.
It all started 12 years ago with a patient, Simon, who was from Burkina Faso. He came to Albacete and was diagnosed with a congenital heart disease, a Fallot's tetralogy. He was operated on here in the place of diagnosis, and because of him, we began to understand the situation in Burkina Faso.
El programa de pacientes ha arrancado en 2007.
The Patients program began in 2007 with heart patients from Burkina Faso. As mentioned earlier, it was because of the discovery of one of our most committed volunteers who allowed us to understand how numerous heart disease was in that country. Thus, Fundación Recover started the program.
Fundación Recover ha comenzado con este programa. Ha sido el programa pionero.
Bueno, yo creo que
There are many NGOs in the world, each with its own function. The specific function of Fundación Recover, as far as I'm concerned, is to treat patients who cannot be treated in their own country.
Para tratamientos que son imposibles en su país.
Llevamos 150 pacientes.
So far, 150 patients have been treated. That is 150 lives that have been saved. Each one has their own circumstances, their own cultural background, and their own pain.
Con su trasfondo y con sus dolencias.
I thank you very much for the warm welcome. Thanks also to Fundación Recover for having chosen us to benefit from this treatment. Even though I am not in Burkina Faso, I can say I feel at home here. I feel really good. It seems as if I have known you for 5 years already, and that we have shared many moments.
J'ai l'impression de vous connaître depuis 5 ans, de partager avec vous des moments. C'est ça.
Burkina Faso does not yet have the means to perform cardiac surgery. Various NGOs have tried, but because the medical infrastructure is so basic, it is not feasible to carry out. That is why Fundación Recover has developed a program to bring patients to Spain. Usually, 2 patients at a time come to be surgically treated. Once they are here, my mission is to provide them with all the medical assistance required. I perform their operations and conduct a post-op follow-up that usually lasts around a month. After that period, they are sent back home. What strikes me the most is the feeling of going back in time 50 years. The patients in Burkina Faso are very young, and they usually have 2 types of heart problems. The congenital heart diseases, which patients are born with, are not treated there. Many die quite young, but some manage to reach adolescence or young adulthood. That is something that in our country no longer exists, because they are treated in the early stages of life. The other disease is rheumatic fever, which is caused by germs or tonsillitis, and was also common in our country 50 or 60 years ago. When not properly treated, rheumatic fever produces a heart affectation. In Africa, it is a real epidemic, producing more deaths than AIDS.
Ahí en África es una auténtica epidemia, que mata, produce más fallecimientos incluso que el SIDA.
Desde el principio, nuestra institución...
From the beginning, our institution was very interested in being able to participate in a project of this type, since it allows us to develop our care and professional work, which we usually conduct in Spain, providing them to patients who do not have the opportunities or means to receive the best care.
En nuestro país, para recibir los mejores cuidados.
Gracias a la colaboración del grupo.
Thanks to the collaboration of the Quirón Salud group, the patients program can be carried out. Without this group's support, including their health professionals, doctors, nurses, and assistants, this program would not have been possible for the more than 150 patients who have been helped during these past 12 years.
Enfermeras, enfermeros, auxiliares, todo el personal de los hospitales que han atendido a estas más de 150 personas que han pasado por distintos hospitales a lo largo de este tiempo. Sin duda alguna, sin ellos hubiera sido absolutamente imposible.
Sí, a mí me encanta trabajar con Recover.
I love working with Fundación Recover. These patients usually have little chance of having a first-line healthcare. Collaborating in their treatment makes us feel very useful. I'm very happy that Fundación Recover counts on me to operate on these patients.
Que Recover cuente conmigo para operar a sus pacientes.
Yo creo que para...
For a specialist doctor working in a third-level hospital, such as the Fundación Jiménez Díaz, being able to participate in these cooperation programs with Fundación Recover enriches us. First of all, because it makes us realize the value of solidarity, the important value of being able to help others and to give what we can, science and knowledge.
Eso es la ciencia, el conocimiento, ¿no?
En África todo, hay que pagar por todo.
In Africa, you have to pay for everything. Health, for example, is not subsidized by the state. Coming here and receiving free services is very striking to these patients.
Tratan y que sin nada, recibir nada a cambio, sin pedir nada a cambio, les llama muchísimo la atención.
La realidad es muy diferente.
The reality is that their everyday life is very different from ours. I believe that the realization of this dimension is very necessary to continue treating our patients on a daily basis and to know and understand their situations.
Que está ahí fuera y que además es inabarcable.
Recover apoya centros hospitalarios.
Fundación Recover supports hospitals and medical centers in many African countries, with main services in Cameroon where the foundation first began. This support program is reinforced with a telemedicine platform which connects medical professionals in Africa with other volunteers in Spain who provide both support and service. As mentioned before, this platform is paired with the Patients Program for those unable to be treated locally. Once treated here, they return to their home country for follow-up treatment and recovery.
El papel de la Fundación Recover es...
The role of Fundación Recover's Patients Program is not only to bring patients to Spain. For us, it entails several other aspects. A great opportunity to have an international cooperation experience without having to travel abroad, and a professional challenge because, in many cases, the patient's health complexities are enormous.
Pacientes presentan una complejidad tremenda y, por otra parte, es una experiencia que todos los profesionales transmiten como humanamente enorme.
Here, in our country, we have forgotten how fortunate we are, not only for the health we enjoy, but for the service that is freely and universally provided. For them, to be eligible to be transferred and treated by Fundación Recover is seen as an opportunity to live a new life. After their operations, on their way back home, they say, a new life starts and I am going to make the most out of it.
Y la voy a aprovechar.
Creemos que lo más importante
The most important thing is to not lose focus on the type of patients we are treating. We try to make it so that any intervention we do here, from providing splints to wheelchairs or any kind of retraining, can have a follow-up in the patient's country of origin. These patients come with a tremendous desire to fight, to overcome their issues. You can always count on the fact that they will do all necessary exercises and rehabilitation possible to heal.
Apenas tienen 3 meses para...
As patients have only 3 months to recover, we have to use our time wisely. If possible, they are admitted to the hospital the same day they arrive in Spain.
Casi ingresar el mismo día, si es posible.
The first week is a little distressing because you do not know what will happen. After the surgery, the first days of recovery are a little complicated, but I'm happy to have recovered my health, because in my country, everyone is afraid if they are going to be operated on. As I have always said, coming to Spain to heal is like a dream come true.
Mais comme je l'ai toujours dit, venir en Espagne pour se soigner, c'est comme un rêve. C'est un rêve qui se réalise.
El Santiago Bernabéu, esto es una cosa también.
The Santiago Bernabéu is really something. To see the stadium, touch the grass, sit in the seat of the coach or the club's president or the King of Spain is another experience that fills them with joy.
Otra experiencia que les llena de alegría.
Somos tremendamente privilegiados.
We are extremely fortunate. Being around these patients touches you and makes you very thankful for what you have. Regardless of where you were born, I think it is a moral deed to pay back of what life has given you.
Y yo creo que es una necesidad moral, el tener un retorno, el devolver parte de lo que te ha dado la vida.
The social impact of what we do is much broader than the operation of one person. These young people will have the opportunity to start a family, or to properly raise one that they have already started. As there are no state allowances, unemployment subsidies, or social security in these countries, if the head of the family has a problem and cannot work, his whole family suffers. The future clearly lies in training local specialists. This gives a completely new and different dimension, in costs, in attention, in quality, in everything.
En todo.
Que en un futuro, conforme vaya
In the future, when Africa is more developed, Fundación Recover will work to strengthen the local training on health issues.
En temas de salud.
Sí, este programa.
We hope that one day we will be able to stop providing this program. Not because we don't want to keep helping, but because it would mean that Africa's health no longer needs us, that its healthcare system was really developed.
No porque la sanidad en África estuviera realmente desarrollada. No podemos hacerlo solos. Este programa es posible.
We cannot perform this alone. This program is possible thanks to a huge network of collaborators, including African and Spanish hospitals and doctors, and volunteers who give their time to provide them support and shelter.
Voluntarios que dan su tiempo para darles apoyo, cobijo.
It's a job that pleases me a lot, that fulfills me quite a lot. It enriches me a lot. At first, you think and say to yourself, I'm going to help out. I'm going to give a helping hand. When in the end, it is really them who help me. To put myself in their shoes, imagining that my child is ill, and he goes to a remote place, and I know nothing about his treatment, how things went, nothing. I would be truly disturbed. I would have a hard time. My child, my husband, anyone. I put myself in the other's position. Each one has its specific characteristics. Some are more complex than others. Some are warmer, someone's less friendly. But each one is unique. All of them are a part of my own life, and I have a picture of each one of them at home. I struggle to speak French, but sign language is universal. I particularly remember a case of a patient who came and nobody knew his dialect, but he was clever, and the sign language is universal. That is the way we learn to understand each other.
Nadie sabía hablar, pero era listo y el lenguaje de los signos, ya digo, es universal y de esa manera nos vamos entendiendo.
Llegué a Recover por ideas.
I came to Recover for ideas, values, solidarity, altruism for Africa. But I continue to collaborate with Recover because they are no longer just ideas. It has become something very concrete and it is useful for patients. That is why I am collaborating, because I see that I am contributing to something.
Y al final por eso estoy colaborando, ¿no? Porque ves que aportas algo.
It is a great joy to be able to accompany people who come here helpless, with a damaged heart, and who within a month or so go back home with a brand new heart.
Al cabo de un mes aproximadamente vuelven con un corazón nuevo.
I would like to thank Fundación Recover's personnel, volunteers, and doctors. Thank you so much.
Merci.
Thank you all. Since my operation in 2008, I have had a new life in perfect health. I am truly grateful to Fundación Recover and their volunteers.
Très reconnaissant à Recover à tous les volontaires.
I would like to thank Burkina Faso's cardiologists, Albacite's volunteers and cardiologists, Fundación Recover, Dr. Gonzalo, and a special memory to Mama Africa.
Dr. Gonzalo Aldamis, un coucou spécial à ma maman Africa.
Thank you to all of Fundación Recover's volunteers and doctors. Thank you for everything you did for me in Spain. I have recovered my health. Thanks to Fundación Recover, doctors and volunteers that made our stay in Spain a pleasant one. Thanks a lot to Fundación Recover, its doctors and the volunteers team. Thanks to them, I have fully recovered my health.
Merci.
Somewhere